Good evening and welcome to the Immortality Update, the Sunday evening update. I'm Justin Lowe, your host. This is the place to get all your news and views about life extension from around the world. And tonight we have a great guest, someone who often opines about all of the issues related to longevity and the future, Ann Corwin. So stay tuned. In a few minutes, we'll be having that interview with her. And in the next couple of weeks, we also have some more high-profile guests similar to Anne. We've got Zheng Chui coming up next week, July 20th, of course, the cancer researcher many of you are familiar with. And on the 27th, we have Terry Grossman, Ray Kurzweil's anti-aging doctor. So some good interviews coming up not only tonight, but also in the next couple of weeks. And since this is the Sunday Evening Immortality Update, let me get a little update here on immortality and the latest opinion survey. Well, not quite there yet, but we're getting closer, so that's good news. And also, I want to get into a little bit of news for the last week. Of course, the name change issue has been in the works at the Immortality Institute, and I want to encourage everyone to vote. If you haven't voted yet in the name change issue, we've got another poll coming up. The first poll was to winnow down the names, to weed out the bad names of the Immortality name change issue. We started out with 150 different names. It was down to a dozen, and now it's down to one that's going to run off against the name Immortality Institute in the upcoming week. So we would really appreciate all the members to vote on that issue so we can get it resolved within the next week. Also, I want to talk a little bit about, let's get our picture up here, of the Folding at Home prize. Yes, of course, this was started a few months back, and we're in the second quarter of competition now. And as you can see, the Longevity Meme team has moved up to position 164. Now you're going to say, hey, what's going on? Last week we were at like 166, weren't we? Or 167? We only gone up 2 positions in the last week. Well, we just had a couple of fast folding teams ahead of us that prevented our movement up the charts. However, just this week we folded 100,000 points in one day. Now we're starting to get into the upper echelon of teams. If we folded 100,000 points for the next year per day, we'd probably reach the top 100 and maybe even a little bit higher than that, 70 or 80 the position. So keep on folding. You know what? Maybe you don't have a fast computer or a PS3 to contribute folding to the team, but even your home computer, maybe it's 2-3 years old, it's going to contribute a couple hundred points a day when you go to bed at night. You know what? Turn on your computer and contribute to the Folding at Home longevity team. That would be just awesome. What else do I have? You know what? No new news on the Convergence Conference. However, it is starting to get a little bit more organized, a little more crystallized here toward a promotional date in early August. Organizers are saying that they're going to start promoting the conference in a media blitz in early August, so you can look forward to that. But I just want to let all of you tuning in tonight know that it is scheduled for November 15th and 16th at the Computer History Museum. So just mark it on your calendar right now. Obviously you can't buy your ticket yet, but mark it on your calendar to make sure you have that weekend open, because it's going to be a huge conference, the Convergence Conference, with many different organizations contributing. One of the more landmark conferences, I think, of this millennium. Okay, that's maybe over the top a little bit, but hey, it is going to be a great conference, let me tell you that. Other news, the Folding at Home prize, the name change issue. You know what? I don't have a whole lot of other news to go through, except, is this background a little dark? Yeah, I switched to a dark background just to check it out. I don't know how it looks to all the viewers out there, but I think I need a little bit lighter color. What do you think? Well, anyway, we'll maybe tool around with the studio design here in the future. But it is, of course, if you remember, the most environmentally friendly Ustream studio out there using LED lighting. Yes, very energy efficient here at the Sunday evening update. Also, hey, let's move on to our snake oil segment of the week. And this week, we'll talk about the Rebounder. Now, some people at the Immortality Institute forums have talked about this a little bit in the past, wondering, well, is this really true? What is the Rebounder? It's a trampoline. That's it. That's all it is. Okay? the trampoline that supposedly improves your health. You just set it up in your living room. It's this tiny little trampoline, and you jump up and down on it, and it's supposed to confer all kinds of health benefits depending on which website you go to. There are a whole list of things, a whole litany of things that this Rebounder is supposedly supposed to cure, and I've got a list that's 24 long. I don't think you want me to hear me read every single item on this list, but it's supposed to improve circulatory function, reduce the likelihood of cardiovascular disease, strengthen blood vessels, strengthen muscles and improve muscular efficiency, whatever that is, improve muscle tone, slow down and reverse the aging process. Now that's a bold claim. It promotes cellular regeneration in the body and improves the function of the glandular system, aids digestive processes and elimination systems. Maybe we don't want to talk about that one too in depth. Joint pain, eyesight, you name it, the Rebounder is supposed to help you out. Now, here's the deal. Maybe it's good exercise, I would say. That is a possibility, that it's good exercise. And people who claim to have great benefits from the Rebounder, I'm wondering, maybe they just sat on the couch most of the time and they never got exercise. Well, sure, if they're going to get the Rebounder and they're going to enjoy it and they're going to jump up and down on the trampoline a half hour a day, you know what? They're going to get some exercise, and that's going to improve their health. So if it's something that's going to get you off the couch and do a little exercise, maybe you take it with you on trips so you can do your rebounding exercises wherever you're at, it's probably a good idea. But if it's going to be something that you buy off an infomercial, it's at like $150. Some of them are even like $400, something like that. And it's just going to sit in your living room and you're not going to use it. It's worthless. If you just jump on it once a week, you're probably not going to get any benefit from it. Unfortunately, yes, more snake oil than reality, I would say, with the Rebounder. Okay, enough of me talking all night here. I want to bring in our wonderful guest for this evening's update program, and that is the Bay Area-based Ann Corwin, and Imminst member. Welcome to the program, Ann.
Hello.
Hello, Ann. Glad to have you here on the Sunday evening update program. Thank you so much for joining us. And I want to remind everyone who's tuning in right now, all the viewers, remember, ask away in the text chat. If anything that we happen to talk about this evening piques your interest and you have a question for Ann, please go ahead and ask it, and I will forward the question during the course of our discussion. So, Ann Corwin, of course, I'm pretty familiar with you and your writing, and I follow your blog. By the way, I should mention that Ann has a terrific blog. You would not believe it. It's called Existence is Wonderful, and it covers a lot of issues regarding longevity and the future and technology. Really good blog. I urge you to check it out. And, of course, one of her most recent blog posts is now a feature article on the front page of the Immortality Institute. Perhaps you have read it. And again, here I am talking too much. I want to get into some of the questions for Ann. And one thing I just wanted to, I'm familiar with you, Ann, and I know a few Imminst members are, but for those of you tuning in tonight, there are some people that are tuning in new and haven't heard of you before. Could you give everyone a little bit of background of yourself, how you kind of got involved with the technology scene, the longevity scene, and if there was any kind of a gradual evolution that you kind of became involved in some of these issues, or was there one moment or one encounter or one book or film that kind of piqued your interest?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Ann. You're coming through loud and clear.
Well, before I get into that, I just want to say this is the first live online thing I've ever done, so just, be patient, I guess. But yeah, anyway, regarding background, in terms of interest in longevity, that's sort of came out of several things, starting in childhood, because as a young child, I was always very interested in, I had a strange